over the past months, we've followed Madrigal Bayot Development Corporation and witnessed the building of their premier condominium development, the address at Wakwak. We've introduced you to its tight-knit and dedicated team of industry professionals. And we've taken you on the day in the life of the developer himself, Mr. Francisco Madrigal Bayot Jr. As building has progressed to the 16th floor, we update you once again. This time we focus on what actually goes into the building of a sound structure. Consider it building the address 101. When it comes to constructing a high-rise building, the structural integrity and design are completely dependent on its foundation requirements. Madrigal Bayot Development Corporation's first step, determining the quality of the subsurface on which the foundation of the address at Wakwak would be built. I'm here with Engineer Marvin Caparos. Engineer, how did Madrigal Bayot Development Corporation determine the quality of the subsurface at the address at Wakwak property?
Primarily, we started off with a geotechnical study as a requirement for us to be able to design a good sound foundation. And we found out from the study itself that the address sits on one of the hardest stratas, which is hard rock adobe, valuing to almost 20,000 pounds per square foot in strength.
So solid talaga. The structure lies on a very solid bed of...
Definitely, I can assure you, that's how and what we considered for the structural design of its foundation.
What other findings did the study have?
Outside than the foundation itself, the location of this property sits on one of the highest points in Metro Manila, so it's also flood-free.
Okay, which, you know, sometimes we cannot help but, you know, Mother Nature takes a toll on everybody, on
yes,
you know, our lives and where we live. So,
yes,
knowing that it's flood-free, panatag tayo na, you
definitely,
know, when
we are
something
on
like
a
that
safe ground.
happens,
We're on the safe ground. Yeah.
What does a potential unit owner benefit from this geotechnical study?
Knowing that we sit on a hard foundation, we are able to design a better stable structure, and outside than that, the other features of the architecture were all considered, wherein that the design will really gel and mold into what it is going to be eventually.
Following the review of the geotechnical information, it was up to the engineer Marvin Caparos and architect Wilbur Tan to collaborate to develop plans for the foundation and design of the structure. Architect Tan, please tell us the architectural features here at the address at Wakwak.
One of the features that we used here in the address is the shotcrete walls.
You mentioned a new term that I'm only hearing now. How do
Shotcrete?
Shotcrete.
As you can see here, this is how we prepare a shotcrete wall, wherein we put wire mesh and put in all the pipings first before we spray the concrete onto this mesh.
Okay, so this is going to be smooth.
Yes, it's going to be smooth and even stronger than concrete hollow block walls. At the same time, you could see those styropores here on top.
Yes.
These are the seismic gaps to absorb the movement during earthquakes.
So, architect, I want to see the finished product. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Angel,
yes,
this is a sample of a finished shotcrete wall with the seismic gaps on top.
Okay.
Remember the styropore outside?
Yes.
Okay. So that seismic gap absorbs all the vibrations during earthquakes, so this wall won't crack. And it's also sound resistant. Let's go take a look at the precast wall.
Okay, let's go.
This is a sample of a precast wall wherein we install this in one piece. So it's faster, cleaner. And again, you won't notice the difference between a shotcrete wall and the shotcrete wall.
Yes, yes.
That's the idea.
Okay, for it to look cohesive.
To look the same and cohesive, yes. Another feature of the address of Wakwak is we don't have any beams in the middle of the room. We, in collaboration with our structural designer, we designed it in such a way that the beams falls on top of partition walls.
Why is that?
Well, first is for feng shui.
Okay.
At the same time, we have a higher ceiling.
So the higher ceiling doesn't require beams that are sticking out.
Yes.
Based on the architectural concept and structural design, building first begins with foundation and substructure, followed by construction of the superstructure, one floor at a time. Following architect Tan's concept of the address, what were the initial steps of construction?
Well, after going through the study of the substructure or the foundation itself, since we were able to determine that the foundation is very safe, we were able to design a structure wherein it's very modular. There are no eccentric features on the building itself.
What are the advantages of a superstructure like this?
Knowing that we've designed it to be earthquake resistant, I can guarantee that it's a very safe structure. And at the same time, I know for a fact that my design criteria pertaining to its concrete and rebar requirements, etc., are strictly conformed with the execution of the contractor through the management of our construction manager.
There are also forces of nature that we cannot avoid. You know, example, the floods, earthquake, and other natural disasters. Can you tell us more about this, how the superstructure works in a natural disaster?
Well, all of these things are already considered. We already use a state-of-the-art three-dimensional analysis to simulate an earthquake situation on how the building will behave. The design calls for us to comply with the earthquake resistance code of the Philippines, and outside than that, the developers required us to go even beyond. So there are added features on this structure that is also going to become the benefit of the future owners of this building.
Mm-hmm. We were here about a couple of months ago, and this didn't look like this. Everything's coming up so fast.
As you know,
literally up.
Well, as you know, the building's evolving already. It's got its form, and as we go up, you'll see how the contractors will be working in filling up the voided spaces, including all the structural and non-structural elements of the building. So we'll be able to see how it will look like in the months to come.
I look forward to that. I'm sure all our viewers look forward to seeing progress, more progress here at the address at Wakwak. Thank you very much, Engineer.
Thank you, Engineer. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Built on the strongest foundation in Metro Manila and ready to withstand natural disasters, Madrigal Bayot's team spared no expense when it comes to structural integrity and safety of the address at Wakwak. They used the latest techniques and set construction materials to the most rigorous of tests, ensuring a home and structure built to last.